Hey family, I'm back. Welcome to Modern Mystic Messages. I don't even remember what part we're on now. I have to sort it when I get ready to upload. Six, I think. Um, but I realized I was somewhere between the Abzu and the Tower of Babel. And what does that matter? The reason I was looking into that with this "You Are the Swing" vote and just looking at where we are in the stream of things, and they're starting to understand that we really do have like parallel realities and universes, and we're jumping timelines and all that good stuff. What does it matter? Well, everybody here is related in one way, but some people here are related in a special way depending on their bloodlines. And again, that's just the way it is, not by the race of the skin color. This is a fake thing that humanity has created, racism, to keep us at our throats and torn apart. It has nothing to do with our skin color. It's about our genetic makeup, our Anunnaki DNA. Are we more related to that more sentient being and willing to identify it, able to identify it, and more importantly, real proof of our Anunnaki DNA is the ability to turn off our worship gene and actually see and understand more of what's going on and expand our consciousness and kind of accept that and work along with them towards the golden age, the age of Aquarius, into this new age, because it's happening regardless. They told us that. We've looked at the procession of the ages. We've seen what's happened. Even the snapshot of the Bible when Moses went up into the mountain to get the rule book from Yahweh, the Ten Commandments. That was at the beginning of an age. Moses represented, or the age that they were leaving, basically, Moloch, the bull, was tied basically back to Yahweh, back to Enki and Marduk. They were making a golden calf right there because they were trying to link back up with Enki. Moses went up on the mountain to get the rule book. And he was so mad that they was worshiping Enki when he came back down that he smashed the tablets. And for that punishment, they was made to roam around in the desert for 40 years. Yeah, he took care of them, gave them the bare minimum, but they were made to roam around in the desert for 40 years for a trip that was only 11 miles. Again, they tell you the truth. So why does any of this matter? Some of the other things that they also told in some of that information about the flood and things like that, according to the other stuff, that did happen. Now, no, the whole earth wasn't covered in 15 feet of water, but it was a calamity that did happen. They knew it was going to happen thanks to the fact that, again, dun, 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 the one that actually cared about us, since they came here and decided to do this, Enki had continued doing a very careful survey of our atmosphere, our planetary systems, and all of that, the astrology that we know about on this planet, the fact that they know about the rotations and the spin, with the teaching of the agriculture and all the rest of that. All of that came from the work that he was doing. But yet, Yahweh said, I am a jealous God. You will have no others before my face. That is part of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, you shall have no other God, all of that good stuff. And there's nothing wrong with any of those rules. However, like I said, if you look at the larger context of what was happening in that scripture, that's what was happening. He was giving them the new playbook. And because they dared to go back and worship Enki, He made them roam around in the desert for 40 years before showing them to the land that he promised them. And even then, it was still, he didn't get the giants and stuff out, had them going into the land terrified. But they just had to choose. And today, we're still being asked to choose, but I believe it's even more profound than that. We've had several cataclysms on this planet. Like I said, the flood was one. And each time, Enki has made preparation for the preservation of humanity. No, they didn't round up every single actual physical animal on this planet and put them in a boat the size of 2 football fields, or 3 even. That's a lot. The noxious gases alone would have killed them people. They did have quite a lot of livestock on the boat, but what was collected and preserved in the ark were genetic samples so that they could replenish anything that would be destroyed, because they absolutely knew the flood was coming due to the weather surveying and all. They knew. One of the cataclysms that happened in one of the histories that they went so far back was because they had been out here showing out on Earth so bad till Daddy Anu actually pulled up, and ever so often they were saying, well, I think it's when their orbit is 3,500 of our years, so when they come in close proximity to the Earth, there will be a cataclysm. It messes with our mantle. There's a mantle slip, which messes with our magnetic poles and things. But they did, like you said, since they set this out, they ensured that all of humanity would not be destroyed. Whether, if they were able to prevent the cataclysm. I firmly believe there's another one coming. They said they were, because guess what? That Genesis story, that was about 3,500 years ago. We're coming up on another one soon. Especially astrologically, we're leaving the age of, was that Capricorn, going into leaving the age of Pisces, going into the age of Aquarius. Switching gears, like I said, people think it's not like January 1st, you're in the age of Pisces, January 2nd, you're in the age of Aquarius type deal. That transition has been playing out over the past 150, 200 years as we move into that age, and these planets are coming back into alignment, all the planetary conjunctions and the this and the that and the marriage of the twins, and all of those astrological and astronomical events that have been happening literally since 2012, but especially since 2020. Winter solstice 2020 was a huge shift. Remember in Revelation when they talk about, was it Babylon the Great and the labor pains and I don't know. I got to go back in and dig through some of that. But we're in the thick of it pretty much now. However, another one of those people, it might have been Steiner again. I can't remember. Nope, I think it was Casey. Discussed the fact that more likely than not, like again, through the eyes of the mystic, if you really understand what you're reading, when they put the book together, The Hiding in Plain Sight, that they've managed to lead millions and billions of people down a certain path with. When you look at Revelation, first off, the Revelation, according to John, the apocalypse, that's a dream, okay? So we understand, wasn't ever meant to be taken literally. However, there are a lot of allegories and there's a lot of truth up in that book. I ain't gonna lie. In fact, ain't nothing but truth in it if you know what you're looking at. And at the end of the story, the horsemen coming out and all of that good stuff, and ultimately the Messiah, Yeshua, is gonna win the day. They know that. They already know it. And what it hinges upon is the swing vote of each and every individual. Eventually, light is going to win regardless. The Anunnaki got nothing but time. It's It's us, our individual selves, that don't understand how important our little puny 80, 100, even if we start expanding and get them to tighten up the telomeres, and even if we get to where we live 300-400 years, that's still small in comparison to their timeline. However, where we can ascend our consciousness to also helps ascend the collective consciousness of each generation, to literally start sifting out and weeding out and refining, to get us to a point that by the time the next cataclysm comes, either, well, either way it goes, because truthfully, the level of creation we're being led to now, and the level of ascension, the knowledge and the information that's out there, I believe, that's going to allow people to tap into, they will begin to, they will be the creators of the new earth, period. Literally. People don't understand that. We're on the brink of it, and the main thing that holds it up is the decision of each and every one to create it, build it in here, and allow to hold to that with such knowing and determination that it literally manifests into the 3D reality right in front of us. And if each and every one of us do that, then our little pieces of heaven on earth begin to overlap, and we do understand that there's enough for everyone, and we stop wanting to kill our brothers and sisters, and we stop being willing to be paid to take up arms, or whatever the case may be. Little by little, our butterfly effect means a whole lot, especially with the planetary ascension going into this, riding this wave. Those energy factors that the astrologers and the astronomers talk about, that's not just imaginary woo-woo stuff. It's real. Our bodies, we have a carbon makeup, but we also have what they call a diamond core God cell, what they tried to, in their ignorance, call junk DNA back in the 60s and 70s, when they just got their little toy microscopes back up to speed enough to see it. That's not junk, but it is something that can be unlocked, because we did have a master geneticist on this project. And he's inviting each and every one of us to be the swing vote right now, to let that God cell unlock. It's encoded. Greg Braden and them even showed it. Now they still, to some degree, are wanting to make it be about Sky Daddy. If that's where we are and need to see it as such, fine, because ultimately, yeah, they are. And they really are. But if you really, really understand who they really are as well, we're being afforded an opportunity to take them off the God shelf a little bit. Yeah, we still owe them a degree of respect, but we can work even more closely with them to become the type of masterful creators. And I don't even want to say them, because, like you said, Enlil done told you choose. And those who are choosing are having it's marching them to something real scary and real ugly right now. And they still praying for Sky Daddy to save them. Whereas Enki is trying to help people understand through the information that is coming into the West. They started that, well, about 200 years ago. There was a mad influx of spirituality and different things, leading people back to those traditions and understandings, and not even saying you ain't got to give that up, the Yahwehism up. It'll, truthfully, when your spirituality ascends to a certain point, you'll be led where you need to go. So I'm not telling nobody to leave nothing, don't do whatever. I'm just saying, well, I'm gonna be saying in the next one, because we're running out of time on this one, but I'm coming right back, folks. I love you.